Welcome back, everyone, to Blue Collar Startup. Each episode, we interview blue-collar business owners, managers, staff members, anyone involved in the blue-collar industries. And our goal is to educate our listeners and help empower the next generation of blue-collar business owners. I am your co-host, Mike Nelson. I am here with visionary, founder, Derek Foster. I feel like we haven't been in the same room, so I'm stumbling a little bit.
It's been a little while. We had episode 33, I think we're on.
Is that what we're at?
Yeah.
I know last week we had some technical hiccups. We were doing it over Zoom.
Yeah, it worked out.
We had scheduling hiccups, then technical hiccups. We just had a lot of hiccups last week, but we made it happen. And I think that episode came out great.
A lot of good information.
Yeah. With Eric, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Eric that works for you over at Daigle Cleaning.
He's our director of operations, and
he was great.
He's a sharp guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you haven't listened to that episode, definitely go back and listen to it, because if you're struggling with leadership in your company or really getting traction on different operational facets of your business, he was great. Definitely worth listening to. So this week we're joined by Taylor Hopeck from Witt Construction.
Hello.
Hello. Wow, it sounds so much better when you plug the microphone in.
Yes, it does.
little just hiccups left, right, and center, man. I don't know what happened.
It's okay.
You think this is our first one?
A little rusty.
That's what I was thinking. I thought you guys do this all the time.
I at least twice a week I'm recording a podcast. You'd think I'd have it down by now, but and Derek, I gotta ask, are you fresh from the barber?
I did. Yeah, I got a haircut
Today.
How do you know that?
Because you sleek comb over. Yeah,
like he's got the lines on your beard are all clean.
What's wrong with that?
I'm so overdue for a haircut, so I was like, man, look at this guy looking all.
My schedule's all over the place, so I sneak it in when I can.
Yeah, I've got one scheduled tomorrow with my man Russ up at Rad Razors.
Nice.
Did you go see
Jamie?
Yeah,
check out episode
Jamie Major
4.
I think it was episode 4.
He was one of our first podcasts.
He was great. I love his shop.
He's got a cool setup there.
Yeah. If you're listening and you're in the Troy, New York area, check out Jamie's. What's the name of his shop down there? Troy
Grooming Co.
Yeah, Troy Grooming. That's what it is. Troy Grooming Co. You can find him on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a cool shop though. I had this whole idea that we were going to do another podcast where it was going to be like Derek and I just getting our hair cut and just talking about stuff, smoking cigars. Maybe.
Isn't there a show like that on?
I'm sure there is.
Netflix.
It just sounds way too cool. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk. We're here to talk with Taylor about what she does over at Witt Construction. So Taylor, tell the audience a little bit about Witt Construction and what you're doing over there.
So Witt Construction is in Saratoga Springs, a little bit at the end of Broadway. We are a custom home builder. And over there, I am a head of all client coordination and selections for the house. I also run our social media.
Okay.
Wow.
So, yeah, we have I think I have 30 jobs right now, on top of going to sites, making sure everything's good, make sure the project managers have everything, and then running our social media.
Yeah, I know. When I was looking on the website to kind of get a feel for what you do, I told them when we were chatting before, I was like, I totally tried stalking you on social media and stuff, but there just wasn't a lot out there. But at least on the website as far as what you do, right? But it definitely seemed like you're kind of the face of Witt Construction
I'm trying to be.
You're trying to be, yeah.
That's great.
But I read in the description on the website that you meet with the clients, get all that information, and then you're just, bringing that information to your project managers. Tell us a little bit about that.
So when a client wants to build a home with us or buy property with us and then build the home on it, they'll start with Marcy in our sales department, and then they'll kind of meet with John, my boss, John Witt, and do a little bit of the design process, go over their wish list. And then usually the second meeting he brings me in, and we'll start talking about selections, then he'll get into cabinetry, and then basically pick out and design the whole entire house custom. And then we usually pass that on to our production team, and I'll still be in it the whole way, and then to our project managers, and start building the house. Not that it goes that quick anymore.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. But what are some of the things that are slowing you guys down now? I know for a long time it was supply chain. Supply chain
still, a lot of our vendors are still struggling with workers. So another reason why I'm here today to encourage. Lead time still. We just had today a faucet that was defective and I can't get it till 74 days and we're trying to get the clients in. So it's like just little hiccups, but we get through them.
74 days for a faucet.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
And it's literally Kohler, so it's like, that's bad.
Right.
Yeah.
You think, yeah, it's a common brand, right? Something that's somewhat easy to get or used to be easy to get. But.
Yep.
So I'm really curious about the process of how you are taking information from clients and then delivering that to the rest of the team, right? Because I know it's something that we struggle with. I know as we've been scaling and trying to remove myself from, because previously I was involved with, we have 100 plus clients and I was involved in every single one of them, right? So every day trying to communicate to clients, get that information back to the team, the deployment team, get them doing things kind of similar to what you do, right?
Yep.
Get the information from the clients, get it to the project managers. They're trying to make stuff happen. They're getting you updates. You're delivering updates to the client. I'd love to hear about how you manage that.
So it's definitely difficult and can be stressful sometimes, especially me being the main form of communication for all of our clients. So I'm literally on my phone 24/7 of the day and talking to them on the phone, keeping them updated. We also use Co-Construct right now. So that's our main form of communication with our clients.
Okay.
And it's basically what we print off. It's called specs and selections. We'll print all of that off, and that's their contract that they sign. So we keep everything documented on our Co-Construct. So I'll post pictures for inspiration that they sent us. Or it's where all your interior trim, windows, doors, everything's on there, and they're actually selecting it themselves before we go and order it. So it's literally all documented. And then obviously design meetings from the beginning to the end. Type up the design meeting notes, send it to the whole team. We have weekly design meetings. They have weekly production meetings with the project managers and our production team. We always pass along to accounting, obviously, if we have a vendor sending us an invoice or if we have to put deposit on countertops. So it's kind of all, we're very communication. The communication has gotten better in our office, but it's also very difficult because it's like, oh, I just made a phone call and made this decision and I just didn't pass it on to someone.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you always have to document that. We always have job logs every day for a site. So the project managers will take pictures, post them on there, say what's going on, say what subs are on site too. And I'll do a little bit of that every now and then too if I'm on site. So that helps out a lot too.
And Derek, I'm sure you had that problem as well. I don't know if you still have that problem, but as far as as you were always your chief salesperson, right?
Yeah.
And then you're getting information to your production crew and then they got to get stuff back. So how did you handle that from a cleaning standpoint?
So it's a great question. And we say that, on our end for us, everything starts with the information from the beginning. So we actually created a form specific to our business and industry that goes from sales to operations and links in finance and HR if needed, if we need to hire. And that's really the starting point. And if all of the information is not there and it's not correct, it throws the whole rest of, the team off. So it's just, everything starts with the sale.
Yeah.
So we put that in and it's really changed the way we're able to operate.
And is that kind of similar to
Very similar.
what Co-Construct does?
Yeah, so just like that first design meeting when he goes over their wish list with the clients, that's what we're basing off everything. So it's kind of when you give inspiration to a custom home builder or when you're building any house, you want to give your inspiration because it's telling us your style. It's telling us what you're looking for, what you want in your house. Because all the details matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. That's interesting.
That's great.
Okay. So you guys are both doing a similar thing, just different pieces of technology, but you're both using technology to take information from the sale, get it all in one place, try to get everything in there.
Yep.
Okay.
Our scope of work, and that's what we live by, and that's what our teams have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
How did you, burning question here, we're talking about, the operational stuff and processes, but how did you get involved, in the home building trades? And where did that come from? And because obviously you seem very happy, you love talking about what you're doing, and it's exciting. You must love what you do.
I do, yeah, at the moment, we'll see.
I wanted to ask that. So how did that come about?
So I never thought I'd be in this at all. This was never a part of my plan. Kind of through high school, I didn't really ever know what I wanted to do. Thought I wanted to work with horses and be a vet or something like that. So I ended up going to college. I went to ACC for 2 years, kind of did my basic classes in kind of journalism because I like to write. And then I was bartending for 5 years while I was in college. So then I was like, I don't want to be in the restaurant industry. Kind of did that all through high school, did it now. I'm over it. So my cousin, Nick Falco, is actually the production manager at Witt. So he's like, we have an opening position for a laborer if you're into it. So I was like, okay, laborer. Doesn't sound that glorified or anything like that. So I went there, interviewed. They're like, well, we never really had a girl, blah, blah. I was like, well, I have a truck. So that should give me some bonus points. So that's kind of how I got into it. So I started as a laborer, kind of got to know all the guys. Didn't work out well at first, but I got through it because, of course, I was 22 or something going into the field of all men. And they were looking at me like, what is she going to do? But, yeah, so I did that, and then I was doing that for like a year. Position opened up in the office, so now I'm kind of a little bit into the interior, and I like that as well. I still think I want to go back out in the field as a project manager someday, but I have a lot to learn yet, and I'm enjoying the journey as I go.
What do you like the most
That's
about construction, about being in that field?
The beginning and the end, to be honest, like seeing all the work that you're putting in along the way. Like, yes, we're getting inspiration from our clients, but we're the ones making their dream work, I guess. Mm-hmm. And seeing that finished product and all of our team working so well together and pushing through it so these clients get exactly what they want, that's the best part, just seeing the finished product and seeing along the way. Like, I'm not technically supposed to go out to site anymore because I'm in the office, but I still do. And I make it a part of my thing to show everyone on our social media kind of the work in progress along the way, which is really cool. And it kind of educates people on how it is on a site.
Yeah.
Not everyone gets to see that all the time, so.
So would you say that I'm impressed because it only took you a year for them to realize obviously there was potential for you to move up. So that's awesome. Sometimes that time investment, it's worth it. And a lot of people don't have the patience to be able to do that. I'm sure there's times where you were questioning yourself, why am I doing this?
Yeah, and my mom wasn't happy at all. At all. But it's scary at first. But
Sure.
I'm a hard worker. I'm pretty strong, even if I don't look it. And I kind of showed a lot of the men up. And I give them, I picked on a lot of them. So
Good for you.
I'm really close with all of them now. So it's pretty awesome.
Did they give you a hard time in the beginning?
Oh, I give them a hard time. They did at first, and they were like, they didn't think, and then I think I picked up 2 sheets of drywall and walked by them, and they were like, okay.
That's fair.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, come at me.
Show them that you weren't that dainty.
Mm-hmm, pretty
Very
much.
nice. And what are some of the things, so you talk about social media, and I think it's something that we don't talk about a lot, the marketing side, right? The communication side, but what kind of changes have you seen in the last year as far as what's going on social media?
So, our social media alone, I'm pretty excited. I think I've broadened it a lot since I took it over. Mm-hmm. I try to make it so people kind of get tips for when they start building a custom home. They see a little bit of what the trades do and how it works, like stonemason, how he puts the stone up or before and after. Mm-hmm. And I think social media is a great tool. Unfortunately, like I grew up in that generation, so I'm so used to being in social media and being on my phone. But I think it's a great tool to pass along pictures to clients, and then they can see their own houses on it and everything like that. That's cool.
And go ahead, Derek.
I was just going to say, what's the main platform that you're currently using on social media?
So John's been kind of on my butt lately. So I update our Instagram, our Facebook, our LinkedIn, our house, and our Pinterest, and our Twitter.
Wow.
No TikTok?
TikTok every now and then. I do have a TikTok. Yeah. John doesn't know about the TikTok.
Surprise, John.
We'll edit that part out.
Yeah, right. No, it's all good.
Well, and I was saying, too, when we first sat down, that John had done a couple of social media videos that were pretty funny. I don't know if you saw those at all.
No.
Oh, yeah. Are those on your?
They're not on our social media, no. They were for the Showcase of Home and the Parade of Homes. I think it was just like a setup thing, but yeah.
Did they ever end up on social media? Mm-mm. Oh, they didn't even end up on social media?
No, I don't think so. I think it was only the people.
Know.
Yeah, you know.
That's funny.
I feel like he doesn't want to broadcast it, but
maybe. Okay, well, we'll take it back.
It's like the behind the scenes.
Never mind, everyone.
That's fine. He's a great guy.
Yeah, the one video I saw, it was pretty funny. Let's leave it at that. So
he's a funny guy. So
yeah, it looks like
he would be happy that people are talking about
it. Yeah. So what does a typical day-to-day look like for you right now?
Busy. So, lately because it's summer and it's nice out, I started my days earlier than usual. A lot of the people in our office don't get there till like 9:30 sometimes. But our project manager starts right away at 6 a.m. He's an older dude, and he likes to start early. I think he wakes up at 4 a.m. and he's called me at 5 before. Ridiculous.
I mean, I get up at 4 or 5 a.m. every day, so I was up at 5 today.
You people, what the
I
heck?
know. I think it's an old guy thing. I think it's an old man thing.
I'm not quite there yet.
You're not there yet.
Me neither. So anyways, so I start at 8 a.m. usually, or get to the office 8:30. Generally, I like to get the social media out of the way first. So I'll plan my post and post it unless I had a plan prior. And then I will start going through my emails, which takes me probably about an hour or two. And then I'll start going through all of our jobs. I'll get phone calls along the way from the project managers if there's something wrong on site. Looking for delivery times when we're getting something. And then I'll usually try to make it a part of my week to go every Wednesday to get pictures of all the sites. And see where we're at with all of them, kind of.
Do you think that the project managers like use you? I don't want to say like as a tool, but like do they like utilize you to kind of help make their lives easier?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And from being in the field and kind of seeing if the office doesn't have like their stuff together, what you deal with in the field, that I made that a part of my, like in my head right away when I went into the office. I'm going to be on top of my selections with my clients. I'm going to have all my specs for when they need them. I'm going to make sure we have all the drawings from our design team, everything, so they're not searching for them and calling for them. Because that's a pain in the butt when you're in the field and you're like, okay, I'm ready to build this, but I don't have the stuff. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, so that experience in the field when you were out there really did pay off.
It did a lot, yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So what you're saying is everyone should start out in the field.
Yeah.
Even the office staff.
Yeah, or at least get
especially
a month worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it changes your perspective. And now, like, I feel like I can tell my clients a little bit better of an understanding on how things get done in the field, how they get built. Just of the little bit of I know, I can kind of explain to them how it works, which helps them a lot too, and helps me because I know when I'm going to need this stuff and how it's going to get done and what dimension we'll need or something like that.
So I know I'm jumping around a little bit, but I was just, the thought occurred to me is, from a training standpoint. So you started out with them with a laborer. Did you already know any construction or have any construction skills? So you were completely green as far as that goes. What do they have a training program? Like what is training a newbie in construction look like these days?
So if you start as a laborer, generally it's all about cleanup at first. Mm-hmm. So it's not a very glorified job. Obviously you're starting at the bottom and you know it. So you're really just going around to sites, making sure they're clean, making sure the subs have a clean site to start on, or cleaning up after the subs that don't clean up. Or if there's a client going to the site that day, making sure it's clean. Then kind of you get into prepping for, say, installation the next day. Our one project manager, Frank, he likes to vacuum out each part of the wall before they insulate it. So there's no sawdust or anything left over, which is really good, actually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you do that. Same with, you kind of clean all the time, you organize, and then you'll work your way because you'll be with those carpenters all the time. You're going to learn from them or you're going to help them if you're done cleaning or they need help in general. So we generally have a laborer schedule and they'll be with a carpenter sometimes, just like me. I was cleaning a lot, yes, of course, but I eventually worked up to a carpenter's assistant. So like I installed door hardware, I installed cabinetry hardware. I helped them just cut stuff for them and stuff like that. So you learn it along the way just from being around it and being hands-on.
Mm-hmm. And then what about the role that you're in now?
So I was trained for that by our previous client coordinator and selections coordinator. So she helped me out a lot. I feel like I picked up pretty quickly though. I feel like I like to say I'm a quick learner.
Everybody says that.
Yeah, I know. Good point. No, she taught me a lot though. And we also have like in our server, we call it like a file center. We have a lot of kind of checklists you have to follow. John teaches you along the way when you're in the office and in the field sometimes. So you learn from him constantly. The production team, you're constantly learning stuff from kind of everyone around you that they obviously know what your position entails. So you learn bits and pieces and go from there.
Very cool.
If you have any advice for a student or somebody who's thinking about getting into the trades, what would that be now that you've been through the whole process and working your way up?
I definitely would say give it a try, even if you don't think you want to be in it or not, because it's just good stuff to know. It's good knowledge. Like me, I'd like to, when I have my own house one day or something like that, I want to know how to do my own work. I don't want to hire someone. So I think it's worth a try to get in. And if you don't like one, there's literally a million other you could get into. So, and it doesn't have to be your full-time job. You could learn some of it, then you could go to be a cop or something, and it could be a side job. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a good thing to be in. You meet a lot of great people along the way, and you can never stop learning it. So
it's funny. I just had a conversation about this with my electrician, Matt. Shout out to Matt over at GBM Electric. But he was same kind of thing, though, talking about just knowing how to do that stuff. And we were having the conversation about how much trouble we're going to be in about 10 years because not a lot of people know how to do their own work or do stuff. And there's such a shortage of people in the industries. And I would like to note that he was there fixing something that I did wrong.
You admitted it.
Hey, listen, man, I gave it my best shot. But.
All right, well, there's certain stuff you mess with, like electricity. Don't mess with that.
Was that one where Kristen stopped you and said, hey, you better call somebody?
No, that happens all the time, though. But I'm allowed to do basically whatever I want out in the barn because it doesn't matter if it looks good. But no, all kidding aside, I did actually wire the circuit right. It was just there was actually a short in the machine that we were trying to plug in. But legit, there's there's two 220 outlets that hooked to this machine, and you'd plug one in, it was fine. Then you'd plug the second one in, and it would arc on you and trip the breaker. And I thought it was my wiring, so I had to have him come out and take a look at it. But it turned out it was the machine, everybody.
Did they actually tell you that, though? Or
he told me that.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe he was just saying that to make me feel better.
Probably.
But, But no, the trades, it's just need people to get into them.
Yeah, we do. It's like, what are we gonna do when, a lot of the people right now, honestly, not to be rude, are older. You know what I mean? And they don't want to deal with the young people.
That was not me.
No, not you, just
I think
anyone.
she was looking at me.
No,
when
I
she said
wasn't.
that. Yes, to your point, though.
No, it's serious, though.
Yeah. There is. It's like you said, like 10 years from now, it's going to be a big problem. It's already a big problem.
It is.
And so to that, you were talking about workforce development. And you have something coming up that you're speaking at, or because you go around and you speak on behalf of Witt Construction, right?
So Curtis has been getting me into a lot of that lately.
Yeah.
I already did it actually. So the showcase.
That's Curtis Lumber, everybody.
Curtis Lumber, yes. The showcase in 2022, we did a women in shed build. So we it was me and 4 or 5 high schoolers that built a shed.
Yeah.
And then they had me speak at the city center in Saratoga, just a little bit about women in trades and just getting people into the trades like right now.
That's amazing. And honestly, that's I was introduced to Taylor. It was an introduction by Doug Ford from Curtis Lumber. So
nice.
Thanks, Doug. It worked out well.
Yeah. So, and what are you guys doing right now to find that workforce?
So we have every now and then we get interns, but I guess really it's just me right now. Just I'm a little bit passionate about it, I guess. Or I'm getting to being passionate about it. Besides interns, we don't really do anything. I mean, I know we donate stuff, and then the shed build John sponsored actually for us to do that. We did do a site walkthrough with some high school students from maybe 3 different high schools. Yeah. Probably in the winter.
Are they any of the BOCES kids from the BOCES program?
It maybe was BOCES.
Yeah. Because I feel like, did Bruce mention something about the shed build?
So, I don't know about the shed build.
Because somehow that's come across my ears.
But the signing day was recently. I don't know if you guys participated in that. But no. They had a lot of media coverage, and I think it was Paul Lambert and Vince from Bonaccio were talking about that.
Oh, yeah?
Gotcha.
They do the signing day.
Yeah, maybe it was something that we were talking about with those guys. I was just curious where the kids for like the shed build and these other things were coming from.
It's all Curtis. I know John's a part of that work collation kind of.
Yeah.
So they have meetings, I think, every month or something like that. So they kind of pass along what's going on and all that. But we did do that one day. It was a site walkthrough or whatever. So we went through a in-progress site and then a finished house too, to kind of just talk to them. John talked to them. I talked to them. Production manager talked to them, and some laborers.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
how's the response been from those?
Good, I think. Actually, from the shed build, I still talk to the one girl. She's a freshman, gonna be a sophomore. That's
awesome.
Really into it. Her dad got her into it. I'm thinking about maybe having her come to work with me a day for the summer, just to kind of see the inside, and then I'll take her to a few sites. So that's kind of my own little plan.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I hope my daughters get into the trades. Because then they could come over and do the stuff so that I wouldn't have to make.
They can
bad
go to work with
wiring.
Taylor.
That's true.
That's called child labor.
Is that family business? It's okay.
That's true. That's true. Starts with one, you get them all.
Yeah. So how about? So we talked about what your day-to-day looks like, and you talked about email, and this is just something that I feel like I've really been seeing a lot lately. With me, my whole team, we're spending so much time on email right now, and I'm just trying to figure out like how much time do you think you're actually spending on email?
So just to go through, so like I had a client come in yesterday from Virginia. So I was with her all day, didn't look at any emails, blah, blah, blah. And today I'm still going through those emails from yesterday on top of my new ones.
Wow.
So not even through them all yet.
Yeah.
But that's just, it's kind of like you miss a day at work. So it's never ending.
It's never ending. If anyone listening has any deep thoughts on how to minimize time on email, there's got to be
Something, right?
10 person hours a day. I'm just thinking about my staff. Like there's got to be at least 10 hours a day that myself and our team are spending on email. And I'm just like, it's ridiculous.
Well, it's also like if you email each other, like just get up and come talk to me.
Yeah,
What I
right.
mean?
Or use Slack or something like
I
that.
think, with remote work and whatnot too, it's kind of pushed people. You're not, working in the same area too. So everything's an email rather than just having a conversation. So we have the same thing, the same problem, but
Yeah, because
I don't want to discourage people from communicating.
No.
But, we have a 24-hour, turnaround time rule just to give people some time to get back.
No, I mean with your 100 plus employees, does every employee have an email address?
No, I mean, they'll have their own. A lot of our technicians in the field will have their own personal email, which we have, but we typically don't utilize that. So for our intercompany communication, it's mainly at the upper levels. So supervisor, manager, and up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Helps
the
to
people
limit
kind
it.
of directing traffic, so to speak, those are the people that have email addresses.
Exactly.
So you can get information to the field or back from the field from those people. But
Yep.
okay.
We have a communication piece to the software that we use. So it's a mobile app, and we're able, our managers are able to communicate with their technicians directly through the app. So it's neat. They can send out blanket messages. So it's
nice.
it's one message.
Is that the
goes to
same one you're
everybody.
using for your time
Different.
trick? Okay.
Different.
So
Yeah.
what's that app?
Is the name of the app. We're building our own app. That's the only reason I say that.
Oh,
So,
gotcha.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So, if you're words of wisdom, right? So if someone, and let's look at it from like a small business standpoint, when is someone do you think is gonna need to hire a person like you to come in and help them?
To hire me, right at the beginning, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on my own or like from Witt or just in general,
No,
like
I
in
mean,
the building
so like,
process?
let's just say there's a small company. Maybe it's 3 to 5 employees in their building jobs. I'm just wondering, at what point do you think that someone would need someone like you to communicate with clients and bring that back to project managers?
Right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tell me more.
So if they found me in the beginning, I guess I would do all the talking and they wouldn't have to besides the building aspect. So I would help them decide the color of their house, what we're using for the roof, what interior trim we're doing, what fireplace we're doing, anything like that. So any selection-wise or communication-wise, I could pass on to them, help them pick it out, go to the vendors with them, and pick the stuff out in person.
Well, what's your official title?
So client coordinator / selection coordinator.
Selection coordinator. Okay.
So when you took your promotion, Taylor, what did your training look like? Because I can only imagine. Beautiful houses that you guys build. There's a ton of different finishes. How long did it take you to learn all of these selections to be able to advise the clients as far as what they?
So I think when I first got in the office, it was about 3 months that I was learning with our client coordinator who was there at the time. And she taught me all of it about co-construct. I kind of watched videos at first. And just watching her, being with her, taking notes in the meetings, being with John, taking notes in the meetings. Like I said, I think I picked it up okay. I'm not saying I'm perfect at it or designing at all, because I'm definitely not. But generally, John gives us the ideas for the design first. So probably 3 months. And then I think we started to get a lot more customers. I think that's when we were up to like 25 clients or something like that.
Wow.
And then that's when they split them down the middle. So she took half and I started to take my first half. Like my first house that I started on just closed 5 weeks ago. So that was my first full selection, full working with the clients. Yes, she was helping me a little bit, but that was the first one. And I got obviously more coming up, and I'm really excited to see the finished product.
Well, congratulations on that. That's
Thank
huge.
you.
How long
That's
does that
awesome.
take? So like how long's a house build
Like-
taking right now?
A year and 6 months, maybe?
Yeah.
But depending, you don't count the design process for that though. So
Okay.
some of our clients, unfortunately, have been designing now from the beginning design. It's been 2 years, and we're literally framing their house now, which really sucks. But it's just how it works out. Depends on what town you're building in, on
Yeah.
the permit process, a lot of it. Yeah.
Now, like when clients come to you, do they already have a piece of land that they've bought, or do you like how does that work?
So it depends. Some clients come to us with a piece of land, or John actually has a bunch of properties that he promotes and tries to sell, but he promotes and sells them with the final price of with a Witt custom home on them.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of a little. It's a good way to do it, to be honest. And then so then they pick the lot, they pay for that lot, and then they build with us. So it works out pretty well.
Are you guys doing any builds up in Greenfield Center? Mm-hmm. Are you? Mm-hmm. I see. We have so much construction going on in town right now,
Yeah.
like just all around. Yeah, there's developments everywhere. I'm always wondering. I'm like, I wonder who's doing those builds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a few big projects coming up. So we have, I think, 7 houses in the ground right now, and then 3 more probably on their way to the ground.
Nice.
And then he just got okayed for Cedar Bluff, which is going to be a major subdivision kind of development, custom homes. That's probably a few years out though, because he's got a lot of designing to do.
Yeah.
And then we have J.W. Hemingway near the Saratoga Racetrack on Nelson Ave.
Okay.
That's got a lot of designing yet too, but that got approved as well.
Very nice.
Yeah.
A lot coming up.
Wow.
Lot going on. Mm-hmm. How many employees you guys?
25 maybe?
Yeah.
So
25. I still don't know how you do the 100 plus that you have. Sounds crazy to me.
Get used to it.
probably
You
a
have
lot
good people
done.
around you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. We have a great team.
Well, I know we're getting short on time, but Derek, anything else that
I guess
we missed?
being in the industry, we talked about your schedule and kind of what that looks like. You're constantly being on your phone. What do you do to get away from work? We've had some folks who have specific morning routines or, workout routines.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
So I started running again. So I've been running a little bit now after work, or if I get up early enough to run before work. So I started running. I like to ride my horse. Obviously, that's always a stress relief. Go kayaking, do just anything out in nature and relieve a little stress, to be honest, and take a little break. I need to do more of that actually now. I'm 25 and I work way too much.
It only gets worse.
How many hours a week, Taylor, do you think that you put in between being on the phone and in the office?
The phone is literally, I feel like all week. Way too much. I need to stop it actually, because I'll be on the weekends and I'll still be thinking of social media ideas or checking out new things, researching things. I need to stop doing that besides when I'm at work. And then probably 45 hours or more for a week of work, which isn't terrible because the guys in the fields do more than that. So, But yeah.
That's awesome. Any events coming up, with any of the trade organizations?
Not that I've heard of lately.
Okay.
But I'm sure there will be.
Yeah, make sure you keep us updated on that.
I will.
Yeah, any way we can help, for
Yeah.
sure. Get the word out.
And I guess I want to say too, if you get into the trades and you learn as much as you can and you think you want to start your own business or anything, so my generation has a lot of bad rep, especially anyone younger. They think we're lazy and they think we don't want to learn or anything from anyone else. But just be respectful, be a hard worker, and I don't know, these are the relationships that you're going to have for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And they're also the ones that are going to be recommending you or not recommending you for when you get into a business. So you got to be smart about that. But
It's amazing how much I keep hearing that. It turns out hard work and hustle are valued traits.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Doesn't matter the skill level. I mean, you can learn that, but you can't. It's a will versus skill. You can't teach somebody to want it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, Taylor Hopeck of Witt Construction, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Appreciate the time. Appreciate the willingness to help educate and empower the next generation of blue-collar business owners. D-Rock, always nice to see
Yeah,
you.
likewise.
Especially when you got that fresh haircut, buddy. Looking good. Looking sharp.
Thank you, Jamie.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Everybody listening, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. And, please check us out over at bluecollarstartup.io. Don't forget to check out the Blue Collar Blueprint, where we have some free content, extra content for those of you that are looking to level up your business. It's not just the Derek and Mike show online there. It's a bunch of other business owners and staff members and managers that are kind of giving away their secrets to success in their given skill set.
Yeah, reach out if you want to come on the show, share your story. We're here to showcase that. And any questions, comments? I don't think we've gotten any recently, but
no, but I'm probably not paying close enough attention. So I'll do better, everyone. I'll do better. Thanks again for listening, and tune in next time.